Tactical strategies for the battlefields of life. Powered by Task Force 1111. Conducting soul rescue operations. Tactic 6. Proficiency in the pause. Mastering your emotions and perceptions. In previous tactics, you have been advised to slow down and notice the guardrails, to assess your assets, and to make decisions carefully instead of impulsively. To assist with the implementation of these tactics, I will now teach you the mechanics of the pause. I will show you how to become proficient, expert, at effectively utilizing this skill towards dominating the battlefields of your life. Within ourselves, we hold dark emotions, anger, fear, aggression, anxiety, and ego. We also hold light emotions, objectivity, empathy, love, acceptance, and faith. These dark and light elements, this dichotomy of being human, are catalysts for fight or flight responses. We must separate ourselves from both in order to find the balance needed to master our inner and outer existence. Biofeedback is a technique I learned at a very tender age. It is one of the abilities that set me apart to be among the small percentage selected for military special operations. As a young child, I had considerable health issues. I suffered from irritable bowel syndrome, which is debilitating cramping of the lower intestinal area. It was induced by anxiety and extreme childhood distress. I was emotionally taxed very early in life, and physical ailments manifested as a result. To combat this condition, my stepfather made an appointment with a biofeedback specialist who introduced me to mental management. I was taught to use separation techniques, removing pain, anxiety, and external circumstances in order to manage the internal. I was trained to remove by dissociation using internalized mental replacement. I can pause mental intrusions. I can retreat from stressors and superimpose stability over chaos while maintaining conscious faculties. Later in life, with the help of other government agencies, the vanguard of special missions units, and the Department of Veteran Affairs, this capability became a conduit to controlled conscious stability under the most dire conditions. Herein enters the biomechanical instructions of the pause, an important tactic I will now teach you. There is a place within the mind where we can go to step away from the pressures and stresses of life, becoming a detached researcher studying the science of self. For me, I mentally go to the mountains at night when it is raining. I sense the dampness, the expanse of evergreens, and the cool breeze of an inbound storm. I see the darkened clouds and the subtle outline of the treetops and the faded shadows of gray. I hear the booming thunder and the pelting of raindrops on a corrugated tin roof that is my cabin's covering. I smell the cedar, hear the owls, and feel the calmness within. When possible, I listen to the recorded sounds of thunder as part of my meditation, which further empowers this visualization. When I retreat into my created scenes, I can pause, find stillness, and reset my perception. Within this escape, I define the logic and reason I must use for decisions to be made rationally and correctly. Within this pause, I can effectively deflect the reaction that might otherwise demand a quick, subservient, and often defective response. Within this mental space, where I have control over the elements through my imagination, I have taken the time to fall back before potentially falling forward into a destructive decision and regrettable outcome. The pause is a form of meditation where your emotions and perceptions are properly managed before acting on the triggers in your life. Triggers are often associated with negative pushes, but anything that rushes you into a decision, be it perceived as good or bad, can be a trigger. Decisions based on triggers alone, without pausing for clarity, can be like running into a battlefield with a weapon but no ammo. The result of thinking you are armed when you are actually carrying an empty rifle can be disastrous. For this reason, it is always good to pause, check that you are fully loaded, and then turn on the safety so there is no accidental friendly yet destructive fire. To reach this suspended state, you must include senses: sight, sound, taste, and touch. Imagining what these senses are telling you defends against flight or fight responses. It is the senses which facilitate moving from one reality to another. Within the pause, we create calmness, quiet the mind, and control automatic thinking. It is in this mindfulness that we can objectively formulate a view that enables battlefield preparation with balance and clarity instead of prejudgment, anxiety, fear, anger, and the gamut of emotions that are our enemies. Become proficient in the pause, and you will be the victor instead of the victim, the commander instead of the captive. In the next video, I will take you through an exercise that will assist you in practicing the pause. Move ahead and watch it now.